George, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. I appreciate it. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Jorge, not George.
You know what? I apologize. Jorge. So we've seen you work on many other shows before. What's going to make Pooch Perfect stand out from the rest?
But this is a competition like you have never seen before. Creative grooming had existed for years, but this level they are the rock stars of the industry. So it's the top of creation. When you see a fashion show and haute couture, when you see the stuff that is totally out there, this is it. This competition is about rock stars, about thinking outside the box, and that box has 4 legs.
Oh, sounds fantastic. Obviously, all these contestants have a lot of passion for what they do. What gives you your passion for being a groomer for all these years?
I love animals. I always say I never choose to work with dogs or with animals. I was chosen. I think that like some people have an ability to dance or play music. I had, since I was born, a very strong connection with animals. When my mom was pregnant, she had a little chihuahua on her stomach during the 9 months because I was like a very big baby. And so I always say I grew up with the heartbeat of a dog. All my life, I knew that I was going to work with dogs. I didn't know how, but yeah, I'm definitely a dog.
Absolutely. I see your fantastic statue right behind you. Looks great. So, you and your co-judges, each of you have specific abilities that you bring to the table. What are you going to be looking for specifically in these contestants?
Well, we have Dr. Callie, who is a veterinarian. She's a nutritional expert. Then we have Lisa Vanderpump, who is the queen of rescue with her, foundation. And then me, I am the expert. I am the groomer expert. So, what I don't say that what I say is goes, but I fight for what I believe because I am the technical guy. I'm the one who can push the limits on everybody, because you will see it and you will be amazed from day one, but I know what they can do better. So my job was constantly pushing and it paid off, because what you see on the stage is an amazing work.
Speaking of that, what do you think is something that is often overlooked by competitors that you constantly have to be reminding them of?
How you connect with the dog. This competition is not, they're not teams of 2. They're teams of 3, because you have to work with the dog like a team member. So connecting. Sometimes if you rush into the competition too fast without connecting with the dog will not understand what you're doing. You need to connect with the dog, and it's like dancing a tango. You got to move together with the dog. It's like the dog have to be part of your dance, so everything is calm.
So what is something that you saw from these competitors that surprised you, maybe in a positive way?
Well, what surprised me was that they could adjust very quick, because they didn't know what kind of challenge was going to be, and they didn't know what kind of dog they were going to get. It could be a senior dog, it could be a puppy, and that takes a lot of readjusting on your game plan, because if you see like the dog want you to do faster around their feet because doesn't like it, you design might have to be adjusted. So it was amazing to see how fast and how well they readjusted to challenges.
It's an interesting point you bring up, because you have to work with the dog, like you said. It's a team of 3. What advice do you give to groomers when they first meet a dog? What do you do in order to have that connection, to have them give you a little bit more trust?
I always say, when you feel their heart, they feel yours. So I always recommend you grab the dog by their sides, you put your hands on their side, and just take a minute to really sink, to let the dog feel your energy and you to get the vibe. That is kind of like give you like a good start. If you start too nervous, the dog get nervous. If you keep the cool, the dog will stay calm. So, that is very important. Sometimes, competitions, you have a certain amount of time and you have to make the best out of it. But those 2 minutes, 3 minutes that you invested in connecting to the dog before you start the competition, those 3 minutes can save your life.
Great. That sounds like great sound advice. What was your relationship like with the other judges as far as making a decision? Any back and forth between you guys?
Let's say that I wasn't the nicest one of them. And yes, it was a lot of pushing, because again, Dr. Callie, she was very focused on the handling of the animals, on the safety of how they apply the colors. Lisa Vanderpump just loves everything. She just want to jump and play with every single dog, and she's very easy to please. But at the same time, she's a huge designer. So, she have designed all her restaurants, all her lines. So she knows about balance and she knows about color palettes. And I'm the technical guy. I'm the technical guy who will see exactly how that job was done, So it's very hard to fool me.
Do you have a preference in a dog? Do you have a favorite dog, or is it just a love for dogs in general?
I just love dogs. I'm like, I just love any kind of dogs. And I always feel that, well-loved dogs are always the kindest one. It's like, because the dogs will give you back what you give to them. So I love clients who treat their dogs as family members. That always is a great result. It's very easy to work with.
I also read that you do a lot of work with animal shelters, really expanding that love for dogs. Just really quick, can you tell us a little bit what you do for dogs in that aspect?
Listen, if you love dogs, you not only love your dog or you love show dogs, you love every dog. So it is important to think about those dogs that they are not, they have a harder beginning. So, working with shelters, it could be just doing makeovers. It could be just teaching at the inner city in New York City how to do little grooming tips, to do at home. It's working with people to make them understand that when you are hands-on on the grooming needs of your dog, you are a better pet parent. Like mama monkey grooms baby monkey, mama lion grooms baby lion. So if you know the basics of grooming your dog, it makes you a better pet owner. So I teach that at shelters. I teach that at the inner city. And of course, and I love to groom dogs to find their forever homes,
Great. Jorge, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing your point of view on this show.
Yes, Tuesday, March 30 on ABC, 8 p.m.
Thank you.